All right, going to talk about Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. Talk about keys for success for Quinn this upcoming weekend, this first playoff game for Texas against Clemson and Clemson's defense. We got 4 or 5 keys that we're going to talk about from Quinn, and we're going to show maybe 5 or 6 clips demonstrating Quinn displaying these keys we're about to talk about. But before we talk about Quinn, let's talk about the Clemson defense for 30 to 60 seconds. Then we'll dive into Quinn. So Clemson's defense, number 4 in the ACC in points per game, middle of the pack in yards per game. They are better against the pass than they are against the rush. They're 5th in pass yards per game given up as far as like the lowest amount. And then they've done a good job forcing interceptions. 15 picks on the season, number 3 in the ACC. I think they're a good defense. Some of these points and some of these stats that put them lower in the ACC have come in garbage time against NC State, against UVA, even against like App State. They've gotten some points in garbage time and have stacked up some yards in garbage time, although they did allow SMU to come back and nearly win. So I think that is fair to say. But I still think they're a good team. They played well down the stretch, even giving up points to SMU. They played well down the stretch defensively, even if the stats don't showcase it all that well. So let's talk about Quinn. What are the keys for success for Quinn against Clemson this week? And I think it's similar keys for Quinn that you had against Georgia in the SEC championship game, which I thought he actually played well. I know he had those 2 picks, and those weren't great. I think those throws maybe were a little, there wasn't enough juice on the ball, maybe shouldn't have been thrown. And if they finished drives, they probably win the game. But I still thought overall Quinn played well. I mean, there were 6 drops for Quinn. I think there was something like the team only had 10 or 12 drops. I saw a stat like that the entire season. Then you had 6 drops this game. He had 358 yards passing. So I think the keys that we talked about for Quinn going into Georgia are the same keys that I feel comfortable saying if he does these well, they should beat Clemson. Key number 1, feet set on throws when there's no pressure. That's when he gets into trouble. When his feet aren't set, when there's no pressure and his feet get off balance. You've heard commentators, especially Jesse Palmer, talk about this during the season. Get your feet set on throws when there's no pressure. Key number 2, the ability to move in the pocket. And we talked about this after the A&M game. We talked about this before Georgia. He doesn't have to scramble and have a long run like he did against A&M. But utilizing your feet in the pocket just enough, I think, can help you buy extra time and help receivers get open. Like we saw this against Michigan several times. We're going to look at some film here in a second. Key number 3, relying and utilizing play action. I mean, Sark's offense is always going to be heavy play action when it relates to the pass game, and that's something Quinn is more comfortable doing on his type of throws. Like 43% of his dropbacks have been off play action. He has 11 touchdowns, 3 picks, 8.5 yards per attempt, and 70% completion percentage off of play action. He's just more comfortable off of play action. In fact, both of Quinn's interceptions against Georgia came on straight drop back. So I think utilizing play action and keeping him comfortable is key. And then key number 4, hitting on a deep ball or 2. Like he hit on enough deep balls against Georgia to win. I think he had 2 completions. The ball was thrown 20 yards or more. The ability is there, but I think hitting on a deep ball or 2 could help Clemson from creeping up on those short screens that Texas likes to do. And then key number 5, maybe the most important key, and this is more as an offense, not just Quinn, but find a way to come away with touchdowns when you're inside the red zone, when you're in the high red, when the field gets shortened. Find a way to come away with touchdowns. Again, that's more as an offense as a whole as opposed to just Quinn, but still an important key to win the game. So the main keys for Quinn: get your feet set when you throw, the ability to move in the pocket with your eyes downfield, hit on some utilize play action. This is something you're so much more comfortable doing than hit on a deep ball or 2 to keep the defense from creeping. And so with that, let's go ahead and check out a few clips of Quinn demonstrating these type of throws. Again, we got 4 or 5 clips. It's broadcast footage. I have to slow it down. I do apologize, but it does a good enough job getting the point across. Let's go ahead and check out a few of these clips. All right, so we got, I think, 6 clips or so of Quinn that we're going to watch. And Texas fans, if you've watched the channel, I know this is broadcast footage, so I do apologize, but I do think it does a good enough job getting the point across. So the first key, getting your feet set when you throw when there's no pressure, right? I'm not talking about when you're scrambling. I'm talking about when there's no pressure here. So it's a 3rd and 11 against Kentucky. It's going to be a good throw, the top of the screen here. His feet get set. The ball comes out on time. Again, I have to slow down the video. I do apologize. The ball comes out on time. Kentucky brings pressure. Quinn gets his feet set. Quick hitch. Ball comes out now. Ball's out now before the receiver even turns around. It's either more or golden. I can't see exactly. But it's a good timing throw. Ball is out. Good example of, I think it's golden. Good example of having your feet set for Quinn and being in a good position, being on time. When Quinn does this, he's a very good, efficient, accurate quarterback. Even against Georgia, this is the first drive. Ball comes out again. I think it's a golden. Very similar play. Ball is out. His feet are set. It's a good throw, able to rotate on that front leg absorbing force. Ball comes out. There's off coverage, able to get the ball in time, get upfield. First down. 2 similar throws outside or right close to the numbers to outside the numbers, and Quinn is doing a good job with his feet there, getting his feet set. All right, here's 2 clips against Michigan. Now, this is where I think if Quinn didn't get hurt, he would have had more plays like this during the season. He had some plays, we'll call it like self-serving sacks, essentially, where he just kind of looked like he just kind of sacked himself almost. But before he got hurt, he was doing these plays a bit more, and we saw it last year in 2023, utilizing his legs more, throwing on the run, maneuvering in the pocket, right? His eyes stay downfield, able to throw off balance, maneuver in the pocket. This is buys you a little more time. Receiver's able to get open, and boom, push the ball down field. Again, we talked about Clemson's defense. Their numbers aren't super impressive per se, but they are better against the pass than they are against the run. And some of those numbers did come in garbage time as well, which I think is important to remember. And they've been playing well down the stretch. Here's a touchdown from Quinn to tight end Gunnar Helm, a little play action. Texas fans, we've shown this video several times this season. I think it's a good example. Utilizing your legs, you stay downfield. You don't have to have a long run like you did in the A&M game. That's great if you do. But throwing on the run and maneuvering in the pocket, I think is big for Quinn and for Texas. All right, so those are the first keys, right? Getting your feet set when you are in the pocket, when there's no pressure. Maneuver in the pocket when you have to. And then the other key number 3 is utilizing play action. We see a quick play action here, gets the defense out of position. Nice throw for Quinn. This is when they were driving against A&M and eventually they fumbled. But it's a good throw from Quinn. It gets defense out of position and just something that he's comfortable doing. And 43% of Quinn's dropbacks are off of play action. We'll go ahead and check it one more time because I think, yeah. And it would be great if you get the run game going. If Texas gets the run game going, I know it's obvious. If they get the run game going, it will help with the pass game. So last key for Quinn, this is not a must, but if you can just hit on 1 or 2 deep throws, I think this can really help. This is a 3rd and 3 deep throw. There's kind of some blown coverage here against Georgia, but you're in your own end zone. I thought it was a really nice throw from Quinn, especially beginning of the game when you already threw there was an interception the first drive, right, when they were driving down, I believe. But it's a good job by Quinn pushing it downfield. You don't have to have these throws every single drive, but you can just hit on a few of these. This gets the defense thinking a little bit. This gets the defense potentially out of position. They start creeping up on those short screens. They start creeping up trying to defend against the run, and you can hit them deep here to force them to stay back. So Texas fans, I do want to hear from you. What do you think the keys are for Quinn? Again, we talked about getting your feet set when there's no pressure. We talked about maneuvering in the pocket, utilizing your legs just enough. We talked about utilizing play action because you're so much more comfortable off of play action when it comes to driving the ball downfield and taking care of the football. And then we talked about completing on a deep pass or 2 to keep the defense honest. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, we're a big SEC quarterback hub. We talk all things SEC quarterbacks. We've had a lot of Quinn content on the channel before. So if you like that type of stuff, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Like the video, share. It does help us grow. Thanks to y'all, for watching. We'll keep this Quinn and Texas Longhorn quarterback content coming. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.